Hi guys, welcome back to QuantumDisney. I am so excited for today. I know so many Disney fans are excited and have been waiting for today also. It is Wednesday, May 20th, and of course it is the day that Disney Springs is reopening. I'm going to be heading down there, checking it out and see what's going on. I'm really interested to see what protocols Disney takes and to see whether they match up with the protocols that we saw around City Walk. I know that it is required that guests and cast members wear their masks at all times, unless they're in a restaurant eating. There are hand sanitization stations located around Disney Springs. There are also additional hand washing stations located around Disney Springs. And I know that you have to go through the touchless temperature check before you are granted entry into Disney Springs also. And something to note about that, Disney did say that whether it is you or just someone in your party who has a temperature above 100.4, none of the party will be allowed in if even just that one guest in your party has a temperature over 100.4. Today, what's opening are going to be select third-party retail and restaurants. So that means none of the Disney stores or restaurants are going to be open today. But starting next week on Wednesday, May 27th, select Disney retail and restaurants are going to be open. So today I'm gonna head down there, check it out, see what's going on, and have a good time. Hi guys, I just made it into the Disney Springs car park. I will say right now, it was so exciting to be driving back through Disney property. I didn't realize how much even just being on Disney property makes me happy, and just to be driving through here, I'm so excited. I feel like a kid on Christmas. That being said, please do bear in mind that the safety protocols have to be taken seriously. I'm going to be as safe as I possibly can, as I expect all of the guests visiting Disney Springs are, and the cast members also. Now, when driving into Disney Springs, right now only the orange car park is open. I know that Disney Springs has said that the Lime parking lot will be open also, but this morning it's only about 9:35 right now, and they only have the orange car park open. If you normally drive into Disney Springs coming past the west side first, so that's the side with Cirque du Soleil, if you're trying to get into the orange car park, that entrance ramp is closed. So you have to go up a couple lights and then make a U-turn and come back into the orange parking lot from the other ramp direction. That wasn't really signposted very well. I did see several people getting a bit confused and continue driving straight, and I'm sure they figured it out eventually. In City Walk, when we parked in their parking lot, they were making sure that the cars were parked every other space. And here at Disney Springs, I don't see anyone putting into place any spacing between the cars. I am parked on the ground level. I don't know if the other levels are open right now. There are plenty of spaces here, but they don't have anyone spacing the cars out. Everyone's parked next to each other. I did choose to park a couple spaces away from anyone else because there are a lot of empty spaces right now. So I can see everyone has their masks on. Again, I can't immediately see any mask inspections to check that people are having their masks on, so they must have put them on in their cars. So I'm going to do the same. I have my masks with me right here. I'm going to put one on, and I'm going to head into Disney Springs.
Hey. We're so happy to have you.
Thank you. just went through all the screenings to get into Disney Springs, the touchless temperature test, they had hand sanitization stations around. I have to say, the atmosphere and the energy here is great. The cast members are clearly excited to have everyone back. Everyone is smiling and waving and welcoming the guests in. It's really great energy here right now today. So one of the main things I noticed very first of all was how empty Disney Springs was. I did get there pretty early. I got there around 9:35 and there was hardly anyone there. These shops within the archway, they all seem to stay closed throughout the entire day, apart from Sugarboo, which by the time we were leaving was open. Then the most exciting part of our day happened. We were walking back up to Emirates and we noticed that Josh DeMauro was here at Disney Springs. Guys, that's the president of Walt Disney World. That's so exciting. So we wanted a little snack for breakfast, so we headed into Erin McKenna's bakery, which is the vegan bakery. They are open this morning. When we had got our pastries, I asked them about the eating situation. So they informed us that if we go and sit on a bench, we are allowed to remove our masks to eat our pastries. Next, we just went over to World of Disney to check it out. It's not open until next week, Wednesday, May 27th. And the same goes for Emirates, which is one of our favorite bakeries here at Disney Springs. Then we walked past the Starbucks coffee, and the line was the longest line I think I saw the entire day at Disney Springs. They had several of these health and safety reminders posted around Disney Springs. So we wanted to head into Earl of Sandwich for an early lunch, but it was a little bit confusing. The sign on the door said that they opened at 9 a.m. and people were walking around trying to figure it out, but it turns out they didn't actually open today until 11:30 a.m. Then we headed into Basin, and this was maybe one of the most interesting places in Disney Springs. Now for the bath bombs, I know people normally pick them up to smell them, and they didn't have any signs anywhere saying whether you could or couldn't do this. They also still had the hand washing station open, so people stick their fingers in those sugar rubs and wash their hands. But the soaps, they did all have wrapped up. They didn't have the open soaps like they normally do for people to smell. So it was a little bit confusing. I kind of just stuck my nose up to the bath bombs to sniff them without picking them up. It was still a good time. So because all of Sandwich was closed, we ended up going to Boathouse for lunch, which I am not complaining about. If you guys haven't tried Boathouse, please try it. It is so good. It is one of the more popular restaurants at Disney Springs. It did open today at 11:30 a.m. and there was quite a line by the time that we got in. However, on the inside of the restaurant, they did a really good job of spacing everyone out. It was pretty empty where we were sitting. They also had their full menu still, and they were printed on paper menus, which the waitress told us they were disposing of after each use. Then we headed into Uniqlo quickly, which is one of my favorite stores at Disney Springs. They have the cutest Disney apparel. Finally, we just stopped by the Lego store to check it out, to see what was going on, but it was closed. So I just got done with my time here at Disney Springs. It's now 12:15. We had a really good time. We've been here a few hours. It doesn't seem to be that much busier than when we first got here. We had a really good time. We ate at Boathouse, we ate at Erin McKenna's, and now we're just gonna head out. So I just got back from Disney Springs and that was so awesome. I had so much fun. I can't even tell you guys how amazing it was to be back on Disney property. How happy it made me even just to drive through Walt Disney World. It's really made me that much more excited for the parks to reopen. I think Disney did an amazing job with the protocols that they had in place. There were plenty of hand sanitization stations around Disney Springs. There were lots of markings on the floor for people to indicate the 6 feet apart rule when waiting in lines. There were also nice little hand washing stations set up outside around Disney Springs so that you could wash your hands if you wanted to. There were not too many people at Disney Springs today, which was also nice. By the time that I left Disney Springs, the Lime parking lot garage had opened up. So whether that means the orange parking lot was full, or whether that means they just decided to open up the Lime parking lot a couple hours after Disney Springs opened, I'm not sure. We got to eat at Boathouse today, we got to eat at Erin McKenna's today. It was so delicious, it was so good. I was so happy to be back at Disney. One of the things I loved was that the energy at Disney Springs was amazing. From the moment that I got out of my car and was going through those initial checkpoints, the cast members were so happy and so interactive with the guests. It was really amazing and it had a really good vibe. I think everyone was just super happy to be at Disney. Cast members were super happy to be interacting with the guests again. It was just an amazing experience. I'm super excited to get back next week for when the Disney stores and restaurants officially open. Down below I will link all of the retail stores and the restaurants that are currently open at Disney Springs so that you can check it out if you're thinking whether the trip to Disney Springs is worth it for you right now. So we will be back next week to head back out to Disney Springs and see what's open then. Thanks for watching.